Check it out, guys. The markets are getting absolutely rocked right now. It's about 1 p.m. on the East Coast. We have the Russell down 0.3% and the Dow down 0.2%, so they're not doing that bad. But the NASDAQ is down over 1.5%, so tech stocks are not doing well today. And we have the S&P down about 1% as the VIX is up about 3%. So in this video, we're going to go over the markets very briefly, and we're going to break down some stocks, what's moving on my watch list, and of course, I'm going to go over what I'm looking to do. So if you guys find value, take a sip of your water. First of all, we got to stay hydrated. Of course, hit the like button, subscribe, and don't forget to also get up to 15 stocks from Moomoo and up to 12 stocks from Webull. Link down below. Check out the Patreon as well if you guys want. Also link down below. And now let's dive into it. So it is it's rough out there. It is a rough day, no doubt about it. Now the VIX is up almost 3.5%. The VIX just keeps on trucking along, guys, and it has potentially a long way to go, especially if we do start breaking some key levels here on SPY and Triple Q that we will talk about here in a second. Actually, we're going to talk about it right now. Let's dive into it. So what we're noticing, let's pull the intraday up. Well, we got a lot of selling after, well, not really, well, I guess you could say, yeah, after the bell yesterday, but heading into close yesterday, we got a lot of selling. SPY went from about 413 all the way down to 408 in power hour alone pretty much yesterday. That is a drop of about, let's see here, 1.2%. In the last hour 15 minutes of the day. Then we coasted, sold off all aftermarket hours and pre-market today, and pretty much all day intraday today as well. So we've been downtrending for a good, almost 24 hours at this point. And pulling up the 4-hour chart, and actually let's take a look at the 10-day chart first. You guys can see clearly we're taking out 408. We've been taking that out. And we also now, with today's down move, we took the lows out from the 10th of this month, from a couple days ago, right? About a week ago, right? Which isn't good for the bulls. And now we're pretty much at the last straw for the bulls. If I take a look here on the 4-hour chart, you guys are going to see, well, we're right at $400 pretty much, right by the 180 SMA on this time frame, which I've talked to you guys about. Look, if we break $400 on SPY on the downside, we're probably going to see some more downside. There's a couple gaps to fill. We have 390. That's a big one on the downside. If that were to break, maybe down 375, 380 is where this could start selling off to. So, yeah, needless to say, guys, we got a bit hot in the markets. We triple topped, which we called out, and now we're seeing that sell-off. And now we're going to see what the bulls are made of. Are they going to come in here at 400 and, continue the uptrend, continue the, the quote-unquote bull market that we've been in the past couple months? Or are we going to end up falling under 400, filling down to 390, followed by maybe 375, $380? And if I pull up Triple Q, let me pull that up and show you guys. Pretty much the same thing's going on. This thing's down now 1.7%, which is it's getting uglier by the minute, guys, as we're filming this video. And who knows, when you're watching it, it may be worse, it may be better. But right now, as it's almost 1 p.m., this is what's going on. Triple Q's at an intraday low. It's at 298. And just like SPY, this thing tanked in power hour yesterday, sold off all aftermarket hours yesterday, pre-market today, and now it's collapsing as we're making the video. Again, it's down to 298, which is the intraday low as of right now. And who knows, when you're watching this, it may be even worse. So on the 4-hour on Triple Q, we might have some more work on the downside by the looks of it, and we're actually approaching a big level of support. Look at this level of support, guys, which is actually, it was the high from the end of January. Also, it held as support back in, about a week ago, the middle of February, right around 300, 298. If we fall under 298, guys, which we're pretty much holding on by a thread right now, I'll set my alert at 298. Mark is that we're below. We're going to have some more work on the downside. This is probably going to start coming down to 290, 291, 292, right about that, right around that 180 SMA, and that's going to be the big test for the bulls. If bulls fail at 290, this thing has way more work on the downside, most likely. Some gaps on the downside. We have 285. You guys can see that was a big resistance in the beginning of October, end of October, right? That'd be where it'd go next, in my opinion, from 290 to 295, or from 298 down to initially 290. Then after 290, if it were to break, down to 285. If that were to break, we have some more, gaps, 275, right? So this could get ugly quick. I'm not trying to be a doomsdayer, guys. I'm just telling you all how it is. what I'm seeing, and it's just the reality of the matter. We're getting some selling now after the markets all year, guys. 2023 year to date, they've been crushing it. What do you expect? I mean, in January, the NASDAQ went up 15%, maybe even more than that. What do you expect? It's going to sell off. It's going to see a pullback. That is what we're seeing right now, at least in the overall markets. But when it comes to some individual stocks, guys, well, they're doing very well. We have DraftKings still up a ton after reporting yesterday. This thing is up now almost 14%. Heck of a day so far for DraftKings, and you could arguably say it's due for a pullback, which it probably is due for a pullback, but we're not seeing any signs of it. That's for sure. We're not seeing any signs of a pullback as of right now. Well, maybe on the intraday, you guys can see it hit 21.20. Now it's at about $20.30, but still, the trend's holding here on the intraday. On the 5-day, 5-minute, bulls are still in charge, so no signs of a pullback. But if it does start to come down to 18.50, I think that'd be a healthier spot for the stock. I think now it's not worth FOMOing into it, at least in my opinion. But if you're already in it, I'm not telling you what to do, but let's just say hypothetically I was already in it as a trade, I'd be definitely trimming off the top right now. I'd be even selling out. I'd consider selling out of the entire position at this point. That's just me because it's just overbought. I think it's due for a pullback. But again, we're not seeing the pullback. So who really knows? We're not seeing it yet, at least. So who really knows what is going to happen? So that's DraftKings. It's looking pretty good. SQQQ, which we also I'm also looking at. We called this one out yesterday. This is up about 5% right now. So it looks like we gapped out of 36.50, which was a point I was looking at, which is good. Now it looks like we're about to test. Actually, no, we're at this point now. 37.50. You guys can see 37.50, 38-ish dollars per share. That was the high from about a week ago, earlier here in February. If that could break on SQQQ, we get QQQ to break under 300, which you guys know SQQQ is a 3x bear ETF. If QQQ does go from 298 down to about 290, it fills that gap down. In other words, maybe it drops another 2.5%. That could be where we catch that move on SQQQ. That's actually what I'm looking to do, to be honest. If we do take out 38 on this, let's put the alert there now. Actually, maybe 30, let's do 37.75. If we can take that out, we start to go down to 290 on QQQ. That's where we can catch maybe upwards of a 10% move here on SQQQ. So I'm watching that very closely. What else is moving today, guys? A lot of movers today. Let's see some down movers. Palantir, it looks like a lot of these that shot up aggressively after earnings, they're starting to give back some gains. Palantir is down 6% today, which is very healthy. Looks like we filled the gap all the way to $10, which was overbought. Let's be honest. I was saying that in these videos. And now we're back down to $9, which you guys can see. That was resistance back in the end of October. That was resistance also in the beginning of February. So we broke out of there, filled the gap to $10. Now we're coming back down to retest $9. Now let's see what the bulls are made of, guys. If $9 holds on Palantir, who knows? Maybe it runs right back to $10. But the second we break 9, there could be some more selling on this thing, maybe down to the lower 8s, mid 8s. Keep your eyes on that on Palantir. Airbnb is also finally pulling back a little bit. This thing got way overbought after earnings. It shot all the way to 145. Now it's at 130. Currently down 6% roughly on the day. And you guys can see we had a double top resistance at about, where was this? You guys can see here, that was at roughly 127. That was back in August, heading into September. So I feel like that's where this thing will probably cool off to 120, 125, maybe 130 even, roughly where it is right now. But I would wait personally to see if there's more work on the downside. I think we could come down 120 to 125 on this, and that'd be a point where I would consider it. SoFi is another one that's coming down a good amount, and it's been coming down. I mean, they reported earnings about, not a month ago, like 3 weeks ago pretty much, shot all the way to $8. Now it's down to $6.50, and I was calling this out. I mean, you guys, it doesn't take a rocket scientist to tell you it needed to cool off a little bit, and I was saying this when they reported earnings, and guess what? We cooled off, and there could be more work on the downside, but anywhere here between 6 and 650, that's where I feel like buyers could come in and maybe take this thing for another ride. You guys can see if we look here on the 4-hour, back in November, we had a double top at about 650. 630. So that's a big spot for the bulls here. That should hold that support, but of course, we don't know if it will for sure. All I'm saying is that's what I'm watching personally here on SoFi. So we could talk all day, guys. We could talk all day. You guys know that, but with that being said, we're going to wrap the video up here. If you enjoyed it, hit the like button, subscribe, let me know your thoughts in the comments, and don't forget to get up to 15 stocks for Moomoo, each up to $2,000. If you guys want some free money and you also want to help out the channel, that's one of the best ways you can do it. It's a win-win. Link down below, or you guys can go to stocks-surfast.com/Moomoo. That is STASSER. How do I even spell my name? STASSERFES.com/Moomoo. You could also get 12 stocks from Webull. Link down below, and feel free to check out my Patreon if you guys want Discord access, more access to me throughout the day. I'm building a Patreon portfolio on there, which I bought some stock earlier this week in that portfolio. We're building it up. We're building it up over time, guys. If you want to be a part of that, check out the Patreon, link down below. I'll see you later. Peace out.